Hi and welcome to Le Studio Marco Primeau. Today we're making the third part of our mix of a song from Human Radio called You and Me and the Radio. So let's dive in right away. All right, let's start with listening to a part of the song.
And when the song hits hard with the drums and guitars, the world explodes to the great divine. Now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Blowing down the mountain as there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space for perfection in stereo. Anyway.
Okay, so the mix as it is, as we did in the last video, isn't bad. But I think that it could rock a bit more. Of course, it's a personal decision. If you want more folk sound or more rock sound or heavy sound, of course the mixing will be different. But now I think for me it lacks a bit of punch. So what I will do is try to bring things together, but more aggressively. So we'll start with the drums. My first thought would be to reamp the drums and use an 1176 style compressor and record this to another track and then blend it under the drums that are there. But of course, I decided to use only Samplitude's plugin, so I'm gonna try to emulate something similar with the compressor included with Magix Samplitude Pro X5. I think it's the same in the other versions. So let's start with just the drums. We already have a drum bus, so that's where we're gonna work. So I'm looking to this compressor and there's no mix knob, so I can mix the original signal and the compressed one together and decide how I can blend it. So instead I'm gonna create another mix bus for the compression of the drums and do it separately so I can control the blend of the compressed version. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna compare the original and the compressed version using the solo buttons. Just listen. And now we're gonna blend them together. So what I did is I shut down the compressed version and I'm gonna higher the volume slowly and see how it blends.
We're a vector in space for perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, it's you and me and the radio.
So you see the difference? I'm gonna mute it instead of going up and down and let you hear the difference.
Perfection, space, perfection in stereo.
Of course, on my original mix, the bass drum and the snare was very loud. So in the old mix of the song, we did not hear a lot of the toms and the cymbals and stuff like that. And by compressing it very hard, the old drums, what it does is it puts out all those cymbals and toms and other room sounds. And I think that it's a nice addition. And if I would have pushed the faders in the drum tracks itself, it would not sound the same. You can experiment, of course, on your side and put your result in the comments and tell me if it works for you or not, this technique.
Perfection, space, perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go.
So now let's check the electric guitars. It seems to be a bit lost in the mix now, and of course it is competing with the keyboards. So, and of course the back vocals. So we need to listen to everything. Maybe we'll need to pan them a bit more, left and right, electric one side and the keyboards the other side, to separate them. But we'll check. Okay. So we solo the electric guitar, the keyboards, including piano. The piano does not disturb me at all because it's just giving some punch in the choruses, but nonetheless, we're gonna listen to it together. So let's try to pan the keyboard on the right and the guitar on the left and hear what it will do. And we're gonna put a compressor on the guitars too.
Perfection, space, perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, it's you and me and the radio.
So unless we automate the keyboards, if we pan it, we have to live with the fact that it will be only on one side and nothing else will be playing for a part of the song. So that's a thing. We could automate the panning, of course, to change. That's might be what we're gonna do, but let's listen to it again.
Perfection, space, perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, it's you and me and
A small tip to check if your level of the lead vocal is okay. You can shut down all the volumes and put up the master volume very slowly. And if the first thing that you hear very far is the vocal, you're fine. And if you go just a tiny bit further and you start to hear the snare, and after that the guitars and bass drum and stuff like that, your mix is quite nice. If you hear the vocal and you continue and you don't hear anything else for a while, that means that all the music is not loud enough. So that's a way to check it. Another way would be to have a very cheap speaker or earbuds, so you can hear the mix differently. If you have a very cheap speaker, it will certainly gives you only the mid frequencies, and that's where the vocal sits. And if you listen to only those frequencies, it'll be easier to decide what the level of the lead vocal will be. I'm going to use the main bus and try to listen what you hear first. Maybe it's hard over YouTube with this compression, but test it for yourself. Tell me in the comments if it works for you or not. And we're going to listen to the song again.
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock. She grinned at me with his big green eyes and said,
After listening to it, the keyboard on one side is not a bad thing. We hear the hi-hat on the other side, and of course the vocal in the middle. It gives air and space to that part of the song. So after all, I won't automate the panning of the keyboard. I will leave it like that. I like this. We're gonna listen to the start of the song because it's a bit different as an arrangement. So let's go to the first part of the song, the intro.
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. I thought we'd take a stroll around the block, but that wasn't fast enough. And you said, I can't. I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. I thought we'd take a stroll around the block, but that wasn't fast enough. And you said, I can't get close to real emotion till I feel myself a body in motion. So let's get this caliente on the road and see how hard it is to stop. Now we're rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio. Flowing down the mountain and there's no way we're going slow.
All right, the first thing that I heard was in the beginning of the song, the drums are too loud. I think the bass too could be worked on. So we're gonna check this. So you saw that I did adjust the compressor for the lead vocal. I did lower the threshold a bit so it will capture more of the peaks. And of course I did higher the ratio too. So what it will do is it will catch the notes a bit early, and also it will put them down a little bit more. And then I changed the output to give it more level. And now we're gonna go to automate the drums and maybe the bass too. Usually I do it with my controller. It's easier. I just select touch right here, and then I change the level on my controller. But I will show you with the automation on the tracks itself. If you don't have a controller, it will be easier for you. So what we do is we push on this little arrow, and we can add what kind of automation we want to use. So for us, it's level. I'm going to do it like that instead. And you can change the mouse mode for automation or stay on universal. You can do it both ways. So a good way is to find a point where the level is okay, and we're gonna start from there and lower the volume before it, because in that case it's the intro that is a bit too loud. Okay, I think that with that first bass drum note, the level will change. So I'm gonna put a marker here. And if I put another marker just before, I will be able to change the volume. Okay. So if I grab it in the middle right now, you see? So let's listen. I think the drum could be a bit lower still in this part, but we're gonna find another point where the level is okay.
Red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. I thought we'd take a stroll around the block, but that wasn't fast enough. And you said, I can't get close to real emotion until I feel myself a body in motion.
I think I'm going to change the level again where the lead vocal is going up in level. Right here.
Stroll around the block, but that wasn't fast enough. And you said, I can't get close to real emotion until I feel myself a body in motion.
So it kind of build up just before the chorus. So that's a thing that I like. I'm not sure about the delay on the lower notes in the intro of the lead vocal. So we can do the same thing with it. We're going to listen to the bass first. No, it sounds okay for now. And we're going to go to the delay. That's a good thing with Samplitude. You can automate mostly anything in your mix. So we're going to automate the level of the delay for the first part of the song. I want to change the level. And of course, like before, I'm going to find a place where I feel that it sounds good. I think on this part, we're going to lower the volume of the delay before this point. So like this. It will be still there, but lower.
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. I thought we'd take a stroll around the block, but that wasn't fast enough. And you said, I can't get close to real emotion until I feel myself a body in motion. So let's get this caliente on the road and see how hard it is to stop. Now we're rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio.
All right, let's listen to a part of the song again.
Time slows when you get close to the horizon. You're just riding. Life is sweet and dangerous, but don't be frightened. And you smile and your hair is flying, and you're screaming down between the lines. And when the
All right, I feel that the guitar going to the left and the keyboard to the right is a nice solution, but I'm still sensing that the electric guitar is a bit thin, so I'm going to explore something else. Let's solo the electric guitar, and I think that I will separate both electric guitars on different bus. Let's listen to the guitars one by one and determine what they offer. Well, they sound the same, but they're not playing exactly the same parts. So that makes sense to put them left and right. So that's what we're going to do. So this second guitar will go right and the other one left. And if we listen to that, yes, it makes a nice stereo image, but the thing is, it is still thin. So let's experiment and try to put... I know those are not DI versions of the recording, but maybe we can add simulate a cabinet on them and see if it will help. So I'm going to try to use only one track first. And I'm gonna call a Vandal that is free, included in Samplitude. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna deactivate the amp and keep this part, which is the cabinet simulator. There's no effect, so let's listen like that. Now it sounds a bit dark, but I like the texture of it. I think I'm gonna blend both tracks. So let's try this. So let's do the same to the other track. Hold Control and drag. Let's put that in a mix.
time slows when you get close to the horizon. You're just riding. Life is sweet and dangerous, but don't be frightened. And you smile and your hair is flying, and you're screaming down between the lines. And when the song hits hard with the drums and guitar,
let's listen to the start of the song, and I'm gonna skip to other places in the song, and we're just checking if the balance is still good, if we need to modify anything else, but I feel that we are very close of the end result. So let's listen.
Gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. Thought we'd take a...
So we hear the guitar very well now. That's good. Let's go to another part of the song.
The time slows when you get close to the horizon. You're just riding. Life is sweet and dangerous, but don't be frightened. Smile and your hair is flying, and you're screaming down between the lines. And when the song hits hard with the drums and guitars, the world explodes to the great divine. Now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio.
Let's check the solo.
Gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock, tick-tock. She grinned at me with his big green eyes and said,
Okay, I think the hi-hat is a bit loud here, so I'm gonna automate the volume only on the hi-hat for this little part. Okay, let's go on the hi-hat, open the automations. And of course, we want the volume automation. And we're going to put a marker here, another one here. And again, and again. And if we click and hold in the middle, we can change the volume. So let's listen.
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was She grinned at me with his big green eyes and said,
there's a lot of the hi-hat that comes from the overheads. So I'll listen again and check if I need to lower the overheads. I'll listen again and check if I need to lower the overheads as well.
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was She grinned at me.
I think it's better. Hear the difference?
I gave my love a red, red rose, and it was tick-tock. She grinned at me with his big green eyes.
And let's hear the last part of the song.
Let's rock, now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Flowing down the mountain, now there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, we're perfection in stereo. Rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio.
All right, so this mix could go to the mastering engineer. Of course, I'm not a mastering engineer, but if you wish, put some comments below and I might do another video and emulate some of the stuff that a mastering engineer would do. So our mix is done. I hope you like it. If you don't, or if you would have done anything differently, put your thoughts in the comments. Of course, I can continue and experiment and do a lot of stuff to this mix. But for me right now, it's clean. We hear everything. I think it suits the song well. But of course, it's a question of taste. Before we go, we're going to listen every steps. Before we started, after the first video, after the second and the third, so you can compare the evolution of this mix.
The great divine. Now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Flowing down the mountain as there's no way we're going slow. Now we're rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio. Flowing down the mountain and there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space for perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, you and me on the radio. Let's rock, now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Flowing down the mountain, now there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space for perfection in stereo. Rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio. Oh.
So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click on the like button, consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications, and put questions and comments below. Of course, your questions could be answered directly in the comments, or I can make a new video about it. And of course, share my videos. It's always a great help.